Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Flow 94.9 FM News at Noon. My name is Wenigha Jackson. A look at the headlines. Leaders of Islamic groups ask federal government to calm Shiites' violent agitations. Imo state government denies involvement in Rochas Okorocha's sealed properties. Abia State House of Assembly to sensitize farmers on federal government grants. And on the foreign scene, UK Prime Minister's cabinet holds inaugural meeting. The details in a moment. All uniformed services and hospitals have been directed to patronize Nigerian cotton, textile and garment industries to grow the economy. While receiving the National Executive Council of the National Union of Textile, Garment and Tailoring Workers at the State House in Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari said that the industry could only grow when they start enjoying local patronage.
In line with, I quote, next level strategy, unquote, of our party, the All Progressive Congress, which seeks to consolidate on our achievements over the past 4 years. We will implement structures that will accelerate speedy execution of these initiatives.
APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole also offered solutions to Nigeria's security and economic challenges.
They need to rejig the security architecture and operationalize community policing, which is already being discussed, but I think we need to go into the specific. To be honest, everybody knows what is wrong. Even more importantly, everybody knows what we ought to do. The challenge is one word: how? The health sector, education, agriculture, infrastructure. The more money we spend on recurrent, the less that is available for this critical area.
Leaders of Islamic groups and imams are warning the federal government against allowing the violent agitations by the Islamic movement in Nigeria to degenerate into another Boko Haram insurgency. The group expressed concern over the continued detention of Ibrahim el-Zakzaki, leader of the sect, otherwise known as Shiites. The director of Muslim Rights Concern, Ishaq Akintola, in a statement advised the federal government to release el-Zakzaki and avert constant loss of lives arising from the protesters and security forces. The federal government is lamenting that most worship centers conducting marriages in Nigeria lacked the license to do so under the Statutory Marriage Act. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, Georgina Ehuria, expressed this dismay while speaking at a one-day stakeholders conference on conduct of statutory marriage in accordance with the Marriage Act 2004 as amended. Ehuria revealed that about 4,689 licensed places of worship in Nigeria have updated their records with the Ministry of Interior. Adding that only 314 have renewed their licenses to conduct statutory marriages. The newly sworn-in Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Tanko Mohammed, says that Nigeria judiciary remains one of the best in Africa. Mohammed said that his administration will focus on fighting corruption in the judiciary.
I'm proud to say that Nigerian judiciary, I'm sure, is one of the best in Africa. Now, if you take a look at our judicial officers, all of us are fully trained.
Former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha is accusing his successor Emeka Ihedioha of attempting to clamp down on opposition in the state. Media aide to the former governor, Sam Ohumeodo, made the allegation while reacting to the sealing of 9 properties belonging to Okorocha by the EFCC in Owerri.
The Ihedioha-led government in Imo has launched war against Okorocha and all those they felt that took them out of power between 2011 and 2019. They are fighting the political battle of their life, that's all. They are looking for legitimacy. They say they want to make the state or comfortable for opponents. That's what they are doing. But they know they didn't win the 2019 election. They know.
However, Chief Press Secretary to Governor Wenigha, Chibuike Onyeukwu, said that there was no truth in the allegation.
Are we saying now that the state government is controlling the EFCC? Are we now saying that the APC government at the center is being controlled by PDP government in the state? All of us know that the EFCC had been on the tracks of the former governor, Okorocha. Even before he left office, they had been at him, they've confiscated some things he had. They had promised to take him as soon as he left office. It's not an ongoing battle with the EFCC. It didn't just start today.
Meanwhile, students of Rochas Foundation College, Owerri, are appealing to Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to reopen the institution in the interest of the academics. The students who came to school yesterday morning to meet seal-off order by EFCC feared that their education might be truncated if the college remained closed.
Because that we came to school this morning and we saw a write-up by the EFCC. So we asked to come out to tell the world that we are on scholarship, that there's no problem. My whole story will just be cut off because the school means lots to me. Without the school, I don't think I'll be somebody in the future. But with the school, I know that I'm studying higher. The school, I know that the whole world will hear me. But we don't pay anything, both books, everything is free.
I just came this morning, so I saw what they wrote on our school walls that EFCC, under investigation by EFCC. So I was kind of surprised.
The school principal, Akko Kenneth, also explained the terms given to staff and the students of the school by the EFCC.
Do I understand what the simple language means, keep off? I would want to know the details so that one will not frustrate their effort, because they say this investigation. And anything you do without seeking permission, it means you are going contrary to their mode of investigation. So he said that it does not include students or the staff of this place. That when they say keep off, it's just that the students will continue their academic work, and there's nothing about that.
One of President Muhammadu Buhari's ministerial nominees and APC governorship candidate in 2019 election in Abia State, Uche Oga, is warning that Nigeria will soon be unable to spend on capital projects if the nation's refineries did not work. Oga made the declaration while being grilled by senators during his confirmation hearing on the floor of the upper legislative chambers.
The best thing we can do as a nation is to have refineries. Whether we like it or not, our refineries must work, because the amount of products imported into this country impacts on our foreign exchange, and they are about impacting on our foreign reserve. And the best thing for us to do is that, how do we get these refineries to work? It is the willpower. We must get to have the willpower as a nation to drive this country and move forward.
He further warned against overdependence on oil by Nigeria.
We don't need to depend on only oil. Yes, oil is a cash cow, but I believe that if we develop our agriculture sector, we can equally develop, create jobs and for our teeming youth, for the entire country. We as a nation can export and feed the entire world. We have the capacity, we have the population, we have all the resources that are required, which is the human capital, which is the...
Abia State House of Assembly is to collaborate with the Ministry of Agriculture to sensitize farmers on modern agricultural practices and how to access some federal government intervention programs to boost their businesses. The House Committee Chairman on Agriculture and member representing Bende North State Constituency, Chijioke Chukwu, who made this known in an interview with Flow FM News, said the move would increase farmers' access to available agricultural grants.
We are going to engage in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture on proper sensitization. In addition to that, Recently, the governor of Abia employed agri-extension officers, and he has already deployed them to the rural areas so that they will help sensitize the farmers on improved seedlings, on funding windows available to them. Some of them don't even know that there are grants given to CBN that they can partner with Bank of Industry, come with their proposal.
He also called on other lawmakers to open a desk where they can interact with farmers in rural areas within their constituencies. Flow News at noon continues shortly with business, foreign, and sports news. Please stay tuned.
Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state.
Telecoms giant MTN has announced the retirement of its board chairman Pascal Doze and 5 other non-executive directors from the telco. In a note to the Nigerian Stock Exchange NSE, MTN said that the retirement follows the expiration of their tenure and in compliance with applicable codes of corporate governance. The retirement takes effect from September 2, 2019. And from the foreign scene, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's new cabinet ministers are meeting for the first time before he addresses the House of Commons. Johnson told the cabinet they had a momentous task ahead as he repeated his commitment for the UK to leave the EU on 31 October. More than half of Theresa May's old cabinet, including leadership rival Jeremy Hunt, quit or were sacked. Sports brings up the rear. English Premier League club Watford have announced the signing of Flying Eagles midfielder Tom Dele-Bashiru on a 6-year deal. Dele-Bashiru linked up with the Hornets as a free agent following the expiration of his contract with champions Manchester City. The central midfielder made his senior debut for Manchester City in their Carabao Cup quarter-final match against Leicester City in 2017-2018, coming on for Phil Foden in the 91st minute. And now to end the news, a recap of our major stories. Leaders of Islamic groups and imams are warning the federal government against allowing the violent agitations by the Islamic movement in Nigeria to degenerate into another Boko Haram insurgency. Former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha is accusing his successor, Emeka Ihedioha, of attempting to clamp down on opposition in the state. Abia State House of Assembly is to collaborate with the Ministry of Agriculture to sensitize farmers on modern agricultural practices and how to access some federal government intervention programs to boost their businesses. And from the foreign scene, we told you that UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's new cabinet ministers were meeting for the first time before he would address the House of Commons. Thank you very much for being with us. Remember that security is everyone's business. So please provide useful information to security agencies to ensure your security. You can join us at 6:45 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. every weekday for additional newscasts. This is Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. You can send your views or information to flowfmnews@gmail.com or visit www.flownews.com.ng for more stories. This bulletin was edited by Oluchi Ndubizu, and supervising editor has been Samson Eze. My name is Wenigha Jackson. One more time, thank you for listening.